Hello, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well today. Um, Back to our development. Working on some code for the web with basically SharePoint as the platform. Close it. And let me see where I left off. I'm gonna test it real quick, make sure that everything's still working the correct way. And continue. And I'm talking to myself again. I really gotta do better about that. I leave myself on mute. So welcome to my stream. I'm working on SharePoint development. Basically, it's web development with a SharePoint backend. I'm creating SharePoint framework web parts. And so what we do basically is create applications for the SharePoint platform. So what I've been working on is, taking away. So let's continue with what we were working on. Just try to test out, make sure everything's working correctly. All right, so topics, questions, preview safe configuration. I think that there's some more work that needs to be done with the safe configuration side of it. Okay. I think I need to look up provisioning for the SharePoint Framework web part. Excuse me. Wait, what happened? What is it talking about? Something changed? What version of SharePoint Framework am I on? Oh, it looks like I'm on version. Is it 1.21? Yeah, I think it's 1.21. Oh, okay. 22 transition to have base toolchain. Initially focus on updating and modernizing SharePoint Framework, build toolchain, and address all known NPM audit reported vulnerabilities in the UI. Creating purges from 121 to 122. That's interesting. I didn't know they had changed from framework 121 to 122. I recently started creating another web part. I wonder if that one's on 122 already. No, I'm still on 121 on that one too. Because I recently started creating an application similar to Blitzit, except this one works inside of SharePoint. It's basically a task management tool. And it's actually really cool. I was able to figure out how to do pop-ups like this from my application. So once I get that done, that should be a really cool tool. And hopefully that'll be my segue or my doorway to starting a business. I want to take my skills and start a business in development. I can get other developers working with me. I want to try take a different approach to development. But I didn't know that SharePoint Framework was using 122 now. I've been using 121. And it looks like this article was published. When was this published? December 10th? Oh, no wonder. So it's only been 10 days. And they already have a version 122.1. Excuse me. So apparently you can just... So upgrading from 121 to 122. I wonder what this, how you migrate them. Because the last time I did an upgrade from a previous version of SharePoint Framework to the newest, it was a pain. It wasn't quite as simple as... I wonder if now that they're using this methodology, if it's going to upgrade... It's going to upgrade the React version to at least 18. Because right now we're still on version 17. So it's definitely a good thing to have it go to version 18. So uninstall that. In this article, you'll walk through in detail all the steps required, removing go-up toolchain from SPFx version 121, adding help-based toolchain, part of the upgraded 122. Maybe I should update my... I'm gonna try to do that as a test, I guess, since I'm here. What did I do? What was updated here? Oh, okay. That was something minor. And I believe that was a bug fix. Added. We can actually remove these two files. Added bug fix for state management across separate components. Let me commit these changes. And I'm going to try to do the update. Might as well give it a shot. What's the worst that can happen? I break everything. But it shouldn't break it. But what I do wonder is, because the way I came about knowing about this is when I want to provision stuff. This is important. So there's been times that in my development procedures, I'll implement some kind of JavaScript code that basically it will create the artifacts, basically all of the assets that are required for the application as part of the deployment scripts. But it is correct in stating that it is limited to the context of the current user. What that means is that if they don't have the permissions that are required for them to be able to add lists, and in our case, lists which are tables or database tables within SharePoint, then it's not gonna let them do that. So provisioning items in this manner is obviously the best way to do so, because that way you don't encounter this issue. So I'm gonna give this a shot. But I think I'm gonna go through the migration process first. So let me go ahead and do the migration update first. I'm gonna terminate this terminal and I'm gonna start a new one, and I'm gonna start the process of upgrading my application. So run this. So this, according to this application documentation, it's going to upgrade me from 121 to 122. And right now we're on 121. You can see here, I am on version 121. So I'm hoping that this is going to be the way to upgrade from 121 to 122. So we ran this script already. So uninstall this compiler. All right, so we install. I'm actually going to record this. I think what I need to do is, so in this process, I'm going to be updating from version 121 to 122 of SharePoint Framework. I'm going to start. Yeah, so the upgrade from 121 to 122 of SharePoint Framework, I'm going to start by running this from the migrate from Go base to 8 half the base toolchain, and then run this for the stack compiler. Then we're going to install the heft toolchain dependencies. I don't know that I can do it this way, but we can try. Let's see if this works. But before I do that, let me clear this. All right, let's see if this works. Yeah, I figured it wasn't gonna work. Will it work if we just paste it? Nope, that didn't work either. I guess what we'll do is we have to install them one by one. Oh, and these are save dev. I'm gonna have to uninstall it, because there's a difference between dependencies and dev dependencies. Dev dependencies are strictly for that, to help you with the development, but not dependencies are actually things that are going to be deployed with your solution. You always want to differentiate between the two. There's a lot of things that aren't required and will only increment the size of the package once you deploy it, and you don't want to have dependencies that you don't need to be in the deployment package. And so if you have a dependency like this one that I just added for 122, it cannot be in this dependency